You have been working hard not to notice it. Keeping busy, explaining things away, telling yourself you are simply tired, simply emotional, simply overthinking. Dear heart, somewhere inside you already know something is not as it appears. A pattern keeps repeating. A conversation leaves you uneasy. A certain promise never seems to become action. Yet each time you feel the discomfort, you talk yourself back down and call it patience. Beloved, that inner strain has worn on you. The confusion, the self-doubt, the quiet embarrassment of sensing more than you can prove. You have wondered, am I imagining this? You have thought, maybe I am too sensitive. You have feared that if you look too closely, you will have to face a truth you do not want. Precious one, I am not drawing your attention to this to frighten you. I am doing it because your peace matters. There are times when comfort comes through soothing, and there are times when comfort comes through clarity. This is one of those times. My child, you need to see what you have kept softening in your own mind. Not because I want to harden you, but because reality, when faced honestly, can stop making secret demands on your spirit. What remains hidden often drains more strength than what is finally named. Loved one, you have been living with a quiet fog around this. Enough signs to feel uneasy. Not enough certainty, you think, to justify your concern. So you keep returning to the same mental room, studying the same details, trying to arrange them into a picture that does not hurt. But the ache persists. That persistence matters. Sweet soul, if something repeatedly troubles your spirit, do not dismiss it only because it is inconvenient. Sometimes your heart recognizes what your mind is still trying to negotiate. Sometimes the discomfort is not drama, it is discernment. And discernment does not always arrive with loud evidence. It often begins as a steady unease you cannot quite explain. Dear heart, I want to help you see clearly without panic. That is important. Clarity is not the same as catastrophe. Seeing truth does not mean everything is ruined. It means you are no longer using denial as a form of temporary shelter. And denial, though it can feel protective for a little while, always asks a price. Beloved, the price has been your peace, your confidence, your ability to rest around certain people, certain choices, certain patterns. You have been paying with emotional energy every time you say, it is probably nothing, when your inner life is quietly tightening. Precious one, I know why you resisted seeing it. Because if you name it, you may have to respond. If you admit what is happening, you may have to stop pretending you are comfortable. If you allow the full truth into the room, you may have to disappoint someone, change a plan, draw a line, or grieve a version of life you hoped would still work. That is no small thing. My dear one, truth can feel costly at first, but confusion has been costly too. One cost leads toward freedom. The other keeps you circling inside the same ache. This is why I am helping you notice, not to overwhelm you, to release you from the burden of constantly managing what your heart already knows. Loved one, what you need to see may be this. Someone words and actions do not match. A situation you keep calling temporary has become a pattern. An opportunity that excites you also quietly drains your integrity. A relationship you defend in public keeps diminishing you in private. A habit you say you can manage is beginning to manage you. A hope you keep feeding is no longer feeding you. Any one of these can hide in plain sight for a long time when love, fear, or weariness are involved. Beloved, do not shame yourself for missing it before. People often see only what they feel ready to survive seeing. That is not foolishness. It is tenderness, trying to protect itself. But there comes a moment when tenderness must be joined by honesty. Otherwise, what was meant to protect you begins to trap you. My child, this is that moment. Not a moment for drama, not a moment for rushed decisions, a moment for seeing, for letting the picture become what it is without editing it into something easier to bear. because what you refuse to see will keep shaping your life from the shadows. And I want more for you than shadow management. I want truth strong enough to steady your steps. Dear heart, perhaps what you need to see is not only what another person is doing, perhaps it is also what you have been doing to survive it. How you over-explain, how you accept crumbs and call them enough, how you keep taking responsibility for another person's lack of honesty, effort, or care, how you talk yourself out of your own perception so you do not have to face what the pattern means. This is tender ground. Walk slowly here. Precious one, when I bring light to something hidden, I do not do it to embarrass you. I do it so your soul can stop carrying what secrecy protects. I do it so your mind can stop splitting itself between what it senses and what it allows itself to admit. I do it so your heart can begin recovering from the strain of constant inner contradiction. Loved one, the truth may not be that everything was false. Some parts may have been real, some moments may have been sincere, some intentions may not have been malicious. But sincerity in pieces does not erase harm and patterns. Good moments do not cancel out repeated injury. Potential does not carry the same weight as reality. You need to see reality, not the version your longing prefers, not the version your fear can tolerate. Reality, sweet soul, that may feel like watching fog lift from a road you have been driving very carefully. At first, the clear view can feel almost harsh. You notice how tired you were from straining your eyes. You notice what was always there but blurred. You notice that your caution had a reason. This is not punishment. This is relief arriving through honest sight. Beloved, once you see clearly, you may grieve. Grieve what you hoped. Grieve the effort you poured in. Grieve the time spent doubting yourself. Grieve the way you kept trying to create safety in a place that would not hold it. Let that grief come gently. It is not a sign that clarity was wrong. It is a sign that the truth matters. My dear one, there is something very healing about no longer arguing with what is plain, no longer rewriting events to protect an illusion, no longer telling yourself you need one more sign when the pattern has already spoken, no longer treating your unease like an inconvenience. This kind of honesty returns dignity. It says, my inner life matters. What I notice matters. The cost to my peace matters. That is not selfishness. That is rightful care. Precious one, you do not need to see everything all at once. Sometimes one clear sentence is enough to begin. This is not healthy. This does not align. This keeps harming me. This is not changing. I have been minimizing this simple truth often carries more healing power than complicated explanations. Dear heart, be careful now not to swing from denial into harshness. Clarity does not require cruelty. Seeing truly does not mean you must become bitter. You can recognize what is wrong without losing the softness of your soul. You can admit what is no longer safe, honest, or right without becoming a person driven by resentment. That balance matters. Beloved, you have worried that seeing clearly will force you into immediate action before you are ready. Not necessarily. Sometimes first you simply need to stop lying to yourself. That alone changes much. It changes how you listen, how you decide, how you respond instead of react, how you stop offering endless benefit of the doubt to what has already shown you its pattern. Clarity is a beginning, not always the whole answer. My child, another thing you may need to see is your own worth inside this situation. Because confusion has a way of making a person forget what they deserve. Respect, consistency, safety, honest effort, room to speak truth without being punished for it. You have lowered the standard just to keep hope alive. That lowering has wounded you more than you admit. Loved one, I do not want your hope built on your own diminishment. I do not want your loyalty used against your peace. I do not want your compassion to become the tool by which you ignore what is hurting you. These distortions must be seen for what they are. And once you see them, you do not have to keep living underneath them. Sweet soul, perhaps the clearest thing you need to understand is this. What is true does not become untrue because it is painful. What is unhealthy does not become healthy because you are patient. What is misaligned does not become right because you are willing to carry the strain. And what your soul has been registering does not become invalid because you cannot explain it to everyone else. Dear heart, rest in that for a moment. You do not need universal agreement to honor what is real. You do not need perfect evidence to stop dismissing your own discernment. You do not need to wait until collapse to admit that something is off. This realization can be quiet. It can be private. It can begin as a shift inside your own honesty. Beloved, I know how much you wanted another outcome. I know how hard you worked to make this make sense. I know the tenderness beneath your confusion. I know the part of you that fears if you see it clearly, you will also have to face what comes next. That part of you needs kindness. So give it kindness. Not more delay, not more self-betrayal. Kindness. Tell yourself the truth with a gentle voice. Precious one, there is relief on the other side of no longer pretending. Not instant ease, perhaps, not painless clarity, but relief. The relief of coherence. The relief of your inner world no longer being split between awareness and denial. The relief of standing on solid ground, even if that ground was not where you hoped to be. The relief of being able to move forward based on what is, not what you keep wishing would be. My dear one, that is why I've brought this before your eyes. Not to take something from you, to return something to you. Your perception, your dignity, your peace, your ability to respond from truth instead of endless confusion. Loved one, you are not being punished by clarity. You are being cared for. Some forms of care feel like comfort blankets. Some forms of care feel like morning light entering a room you had grown used to navigating in dimness. Morning light can be exposing, but it also helps you stop bumping into the same things over and over. That is mercy too. Sweet soul, for tonight, you do not need to map out every consequence. You do not need to explain everything to everyone. You do not need to decide the entire future. Just allow yourself to know what you know. Allow the truth to be true. Allow your inner life to stop fighting its own understanding. That quiet agreement is the beginning of freedom. Beloved, I will be near you as the pieces settle, near when grief rises, near when relief arrives in small waves, near when decisions begin to form more cleanly, near when your heart starts trusting itself again. You do not have to rush what clarity begins. Dear heart, stay close to what is honest now. Stay close to what brings coherence instead of confusion. Stay close to the part of you that has been trying for a long time to tell the truth. It has not been your enemy. It has been your quiet guardian. And as the room grows still, as your thoughts soften around what is real, rest here a while. No more forcing the blur to look like certainty. No more begging dimness to become peace. I remain here, steady in the light, while your soul learns the comfort of seeing clearly. Amen. Beloved family, these messages are created with prayer, care, and sincere dedication. We continue this mission with faith each day. If you feel led to support this ministry, you can find the support link in the description and in the comment box below. May God bless your life with peace.